Oh, sorry. Okay. Hello. This is our Deepakism of the week. And once again, we are doing our Ageless Body, Timeless Mind by Deepak Chopra. And what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to read a few excerpts out of this book. And then we will discuss meditation. All right, so the first one that I'd like to read is Mind and Body Are Inseparably One. Intelligence is much more flexible than the mask of matter that hides it. Intelligence can express itself either as thoughts or as molecules. A basic emotion such as fear can be described as an abstract feeling or as a tangible molecule of the hormone adrenaline. Without the feeling, there is no hormone. Without the hormone, there is no feeling. In the same way, there is no pain without nerve signals that transmit pain. There is no relief from pain without endorphins that fit into the pain receptors to block those signals. The revolution we call mind-body medicine was based on this simple discovery. Whatever thought goes, a chemical goes with it. This insight has turned into a powerful tool that allows us to understand, for example, why recent widows are twice as likely to develop breast cancer, and why the chronically depressed are 4 times more likely to get sick. In both cases, distressed mental states get converted into biochemicals that create disease. One of the things I just want to say about that is that I think we've all had experiences where we know someone who lost a close loved one, and then within days, sometimes weeks, or sometimes within a year, they also die, or the person dies that was closest to that person. And everyone always says, oh, they died of a broken heart, or they died of loneliness, or something like that. But I would say that if we take it a step further, the chemicals that they built up in their body based on maybe loneliness or fear of being by themselves or having a broken heart is what killed them. And, it just illustrates how strong our mental state is, how strong our dispositions can be in terms of how they affect our bodies. Let's see, the next thing that I'd like to read is Perception is a Learned Phenomenon. Your whole biochemical profile will alter dramatically when a person finds a new job, and if it's a more satisfying one, his body's output of neurotransmitters, hormones, receptors, and all other vital biochemicals down to DNA itself will start to reflect this sudden turn for the better. Although we assume that DNA is a locked storehouse of genetic information, its active twin, RNA, responds to day-to-day existence. Medical students at exam time show a decreased output of interleukin-2, a critical chemical in the immune response that fights cancer. The production of interleukin-2 is controlled by messenger RNA, which means that the student's anxiety over passing his exams is speaking directly to his genes. Now, what I think is so interesting about this is that we found this out this week in my anatomy and physiology class, that DNA is not constant. We think that DNA is set, and basically the things that I guess make us who we are just having different genes along our DNA strand on or off at any given point in time. And for a long time, science believed that those genes on our DNA strand were constant, that they, if you had one turned off, I don't know why I feel like something's on my face. Sorry. If you had one turned off, then it was always off. If you had one turned on, it was always on. And then they recently found out that that's not the case. That something even as simple as our thoughts, which I guess aren't all that simple, can turn on a gene that previously was turned off, or can turn off a gene that was previously turned on. And when you think about the ramification of those, you figure, someone who has multiple sclerosis or something like that, they have certain genes turned on and certain genes turned off. If you think about the power of the mind and how perhaps, they could turn on a different gene or turn off a different gene, and it would have an impact on their disease, that's pretty powerful. I mean, obviously all of us aren't running around here being yogis, able to, manipulate our heart rates and things like that, but it couldn't hurt to start developing some of those things, at least on a higher level than we do at the present time. So just wanted to add that. The next thing is impulses of intelligence constantly create the body in new forms every second. Interpretations arise from a person's self-interaction. You experience this as internal dialogue. Thoughts, judgments, and feelings are ceaselessly swirling through one's mind. I like this, I don't like that, I'm afraid of A, I'm not sure of B, etc. Internal dialogue is not random mental noise. It is generated from a deep level by your beliefs and assumptions. A core belief is defined as something you assume is true about reality, and as long as you hold on to it, your belief will hold your body's informational fields to certain parameters. You will perceive something as likable or unlikable, distressing or enjoyable, according to how it fits your expectations. Now, I mean, we have gone over and over and over this in our Deepakisms about our expectations and perceptions versus reality, and how powerful our thoughts can be. And again, we're seeing it here when it comes to controlling our physiology and keeping us young. So here, let me give you, before I run out of time, let me give you our mantra for the week. This is something that we can say, which hopefully by the end of the week will bring us closer in line with where we need to be to experience some of the things in this book. And I'll read it to you. As is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. As is the atom, so is the universe. As is the human body, so is the cosmic body. As is the human mind, so is the cosmic mind. These are not just mystical teachings, but actual experiences of those who could dislodge their awareness from a state of separation and identify instead with the unity of everything. In unity consciousness, people, things, and events out there all become part of our body, or part of your body. In fact, you are only a mirror of relationships centered on these influences. The famous naturalist John Moore declared, "Whenever we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it is hitched to everything else in the universe. This shouldn't be a rare experience, but the first building block of everything we know." So let's say this mantra that I just read at least once a day for the rest of the week. And then when we come back together next week, we'll move forward. Thank you so much, and be blessed.